Hi, this is Jim Durkin. I want to thank everybody for attending today's webinar on Smart Notes for ACT. As you can see here, we've launched ACT version 16, and we have two notes floating on the top of our screen here. One is the yellow one. This is a second larger note, and the first one has been with the company since going public. Well, these notes were affixed to this contact sometime in the past and automatically pop up or show every time I walk onto this contact. So let me go to Jane Chan's record. I'm just going to use the back and next navigation the same way you would do a find. So if I walk onto Jan's record or Betty browser, we can see we have no notes coming forward. And if I just click here, I'm going to click one more time, and I walk onto Chris Huffman's record, we're going to see there's where the notes are attached. Now what's nice about these notes is you can move those around, drag them, reposition them anywhere you want, and they will remember in their position. Like this is 90 days past due. So let's make this something that's going to be a little bit more prominent for a note we want to put on here. 90 days past due. And if I right-click on here, I can select a different background color. So there's bit more red. Now, as you can see what's going to happen, and let's slide this right up as close as we can to the name. As we're navigating and say Chris Hoffman gives me a call, then those notes automatically pop up at me. Now these, as you can see, are sticky notes. If I want to add a new note, let's go to somebody's record. Or actually, we can actually start with here. If I want to delete one of these notes saying, oh yeah, she did pay, just right-clicking on the top of the note and I can say delete note. Are you sure you want to delete it? Same thing over here. I can right-click and I can say delete. But I can also come along and say I want to add a new note. On your toolbar at the top, there's a little yellow sticky notes icon. So I'm just going to click on that, and it opens up a sticky note. New note here. I can put that note, again, I can drag it anywhere I want. I can resize it. I can change its color. If I right-click on it, I can select a different color. If I want to change the fonts in here, I can right-click on the font, and I can change the font, the color, the text, the alignments. It supports RTF, so if you actually are copying from like the website or from a Word document, then it's going to paste everything in there. So if we go into a website real quick and just grab something, grab some information, copy that, I can come into here and paste that, and you can see it supports all the RTF code. So there's the link to download and all that stuff. Another thing too, you may have a lot of notes, and these notes may just be for informational purposes only, not like the 90-day past deliverable ones. And they may all come up here and say, well, this is our X type of client, this is our Y type of client. And you may just want to hide those notes to the side without having to shuffle them back and forth like I've been doing right here, shuffling them around. But we do have shortcuts here. Hide all notes and show. So it's Alt key and then the right arrow key. So if I just say Alt key and right arrow, it actually hides them or tucks them against the right-hand side, and I can move those out. So actually, as I'm walking on, here's boss's daughter down here, note way down the bottom. If I come back and say, well, I really just want to read his record, I can just Alt and right arrow, and it'll push all the notes to the side. Okay. These are just sticky notes. Sticky notes in the sense that I'm throwing a note at it. It sticks to Chris Huffman's record, and if I go onto anybody's record, these notes pop up. Well, let's just go and let's delete these. We want to do the next step, which is a smart note. Now, the product is called Smart Notes, so sticky is just half of it. What a smart note will do is it'll bring forward a note that you design based on conditions. So you can create a condition that says, hey, does this contact have an activity that is more than 5 days in the past, which is still open and greater than $10,000? Just to use something up. I may want that note to pop up as I walk onto Chris Huffman's record. So let me go to Betty. Let's use anybody here. I'm just going to go to the Tools menu, and I'm going to go to Smart Notes. And inside of Smart Notes, we have Smart Notes tab on the left. We have the Sticky Notes tab, which is it's turned on. First time you install it, you may have to click on the Enable Sticky Notes for it to store some changes to your database. So ACT will accept the notes into the database, so they'll be backed up. So again, we had the Smart Notes, we had the Sticky Notes, and just this registration. 3 simple tabs. So let's go to the Smart Notes, and let's look in here. We have a Smart Note in here. Its name is called Open Opportunities, and what we're going to do is modify this note. Okay, on this note field, well, let's show it working first, all right? So I'm going to turn this on. This is a rule or a note. I'm going to say, let's turn this rule on. I'm going to say OK to this. I'm going to say OK to that. And now let's go to somebody else's record. There's Jane's. Oh, here's Chris Hoffman's. And see that note? We never created an orange note. It says Chris Hoffman has at least one open opportunity. And you notice where that note will auto fade away for us too. So it's a part of the auto notes feature. So let's see how that Smart Note actually worked. Highlight this and click on Modify. The name of the note, simple enough. Just give it a unique name, Open Opportunities, whether it's active, whether it expires. You may have this client is eligible for our 20% rebate on a product. In that case, that rebate may only be good until January 1st. So you can make the rule, the condition expire. This is where it applies to contacts, companies, groups, or opportunities. It's acts, entities. Now over here, here's the matching conditions. So how did we know that this matched on this condition? This is a condition I have called Open Opportunities. I'm just going to edit it. And you're noticing that it looks just like the criteria builder in ACT. In fact, it doesn't look like it, it is. So what you do is you create a lookup criteria that you would be saying, hey, show everybody that has estimated close date. In this case, estimated close date is on or after today. So everybody with an opportunity in the future. This is just a criteria. And what happens is you would normally use this to look up and find your 50 contacts out of 200 that match that condition. Smart Notes use that same condition. As you walk onto each record, it will then pop open your Smart Notes. So we're just going to say OK to that. Just say cancel that. Actually, we don't want to look it up. So we're saying that the Smart Note is this, and then that's the condition, and then this is the field position. So I can change it to any kind of color I want. I can test the position, meaning I can say, hey, I want the note to always appear over here, or I want the note always to be as big as possible because this is an expiration warning, and I want it to be that big on the screen at all times. So we'll save that, and if that's that big, I may want a red warning on here. Okay, so this is a position in here, and then you can insert fields inside of here that says this contact, Chris Hoffman, has at least one opportunity open. Please send new invoice PDFs, whatever we need to do to them. So again, this is this edit Smart Note. So I'm going to go in here and look at that. So that's the new one on here.